Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dungeon Boys, episode 46.
Woo!
We are one episode past the number it takes for a very common angle, 45 degrees,
All
half
right.
of 90.
Yeah.
A lot of ramps, 45 degrees. You know, I'm doing what I can to make a milestone out of it. My name's Keith. I'm your DM today.
I am Josh, playing Arlo on the 45th episode.
Zenas playing as Grim, but still haven't gotten over good.
Good. I'm good. Playing's good. And I am Brice, playing as Jack Law.
And we haven't done it in a while, but on our last stretch of episodes before the season finale, we got back into contact with one particularly delicious barbecue restaurant
KFC?
in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Duke's Barbecue. It will be sponsoring the last few episodes of this season.
We
and
know
of
it.
course, as always,
Not a
not a
sponsor.
sponsor. So,
They're a sponsor in
delicious.
heart.
yeah, I'm going to do some exposition here as we get you back up to speed. The party has arrived in Buckland, and on the eve, not really the eve, but on the perceived possible eve of a big conflict with the Servants of the Scale, who are headquartered in Buckland. The heads of the Servant of the Scale, a family, Albert and Corinne Fullheart, have requested, after an explanation of the new element, not new, but an element that's been recently discovered called planium that's kind of driving this whole conflict, and a very brief explanation of what really the council is after, what they're doing, and what the big plot points are. They said, well, we got a conflict coming because we are refusing cullings anymore. We are not allowing the orcs to come and take people from our city anymore, so we are expecting a big force to come and try to take care of us. So you have been sent with their son in the wee hours of the morning to a relatively small, actually large, 100 feet wide, perfectly circular tide pool on the edge of the ocean a few miles away from the Fullheart mine where the headquarters of the Servants of the Scale are located. You've been sent there to kill 6 creatures known as Blinxes. They are creatures that seem to have magical powers. They have the power to bite using their teeth, their enemies, and blink them to perceivably another plane of existence, to another reality. And what they want you to do is kill these creatures so that they can harvest their teeth and use them as arrows. Because when fashioned as arrows, these teeth perform the same phenomenon. Whenever an arrow made of a Blinx tooth collides with the skin of a creature, it will transport that creature out of existence. So they want to get the leg up on their enemies by getting these teeth. You guys good? Or you guys got something you looking up?
Yeah. Keep going with your exposition.
Okay, so it is the middle of the night. Well, it's the middle of the very, very early morning. Torque, the son of Albert and Corinne Fullheart, and his sister Justine, which he lovingly calls Juice, took you guys out there to this tide pool, and he carried Justine with you all because you were told that if you get blinked out of this plane, there's only one person they know of that can get you back, and that's this little girl. Because there's something special about her that they're not quite sure of yet. But she's able to kind of traverse planes in a weird way. So she is underneath a bush, wrapped up in Torque's cloak, with her teddy bear, kind of on the outskirts of what will probably be a battle here. And Torque has taken you to this tide pool. The waters are still. It's very cold here in the very southernmost island of the continent. You guys are bundled up in the coats that you have gotten. The fur of your coats blows a little bit in the wind. The salty air is sharp in your nostrils as you look into this tide pool, which is obviously a very different color than the normal color of the deep, deep, dark blue ocean that you see beyond you. The color of these waters is like kind of a seafoam green, kind of a lightish green color.
Do it glow?
Huh?
Do it glow and glisten in the moonlight?
It does. It glistens in the moonlight. And the cold sweat that some of you have after that hike, just a few beads, it's cold, but you sweat a little bit, is It touches
Also
that cold
glistens.
air. Also glistens in the
Oh, I'm
moonlight.
beady.
And what's most importantly glistening in the moonlight are the eyes of several of these Blinx creatures. They were described to you, whether I actually said it or whether that we'll say Torque described them to you in his own way on your way. He described them as a poison teleporting water cat. Like they're big. It's like a poison teleporting, water lion is what these things are, and you guys are supposed to kill 6 of them. The last thing that happened was he unwrapped a parcel of just looked like rotting fish that he tossed into the water, and of the many of these Blinxes that were swirling on the bottom of this very, very deep pool, several of them shot up, and they're coming after that bait that was tossed in. And the last thing that Torque said was, "I hope I don't see you on the other side," because he doesn't want to get teleported. He doesn't like that.
That'll work.
So, that is what is occurring as they rocket up to the surface.
Are their back quarters poisoned as well?
Their back quarters.
Their tail.
They have a barbed tail that has a poisonous property that the Bucklineers have learned.
But the teeth is what does the teleporting bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Their teeth are black. They're not
Did we-
fully black. They're white, but they have this black stuff coursing through them, which now must obviously be a variation of this planium substance that Albert was trying to tell you about.
It's actually a really cool creature.
Thanks.
Nice.
You made it up.
Did we ask in game about the tail venom last time?
We were talking.
I feel like Corinne told you about it. Because it was Albert explaining, he was excited to tell you about planium and what he knew about it, and Corinne was kind of talking him down and saying, well, we got kind of more important stuff to deal with, we need to get these teeth.
Right.
She explained a little bit about the creatures, and if she didn't, we'll assume that either she did or Torque on the way explained that they have poison butts.
Do we know, what kind of poison it is? Do we need to watch out for paralysis, or...
No, she just described poison.
Yeah, she didn't
Okay.
explain to you what kind it was.
Then I will be doing some in-character accent.
Yes, sounds good. All right, we're playing now. So it's taking they're moving quickly, but the pool is deep, so you have a couple beats before they breach the surface. Grim is at the edge, I believe, with his cane of freeze water pointed at the edge of it, ready to jab in there to freeze it, assumedly to kind of block them from coming up or to hurt them in some way. Or the game is now going to be played, and I will start now. Grim, what are you doing there?
I'm waiting for them to get to the surface, and then I'm going to freeze them.
With that cane you got?
It is supposedly magic. The dwarf that sold it to me, he hasn't let me down so far. So, we'll
Then
see.
I pray he does not let you down this evening.
It's just a stick.
Torque, Torque, as this is happening, he takes
You keep calling him Twerk.
Torque. Sorry, his name is Torque. Torque, like
I
a
was
wrench.
getting a little bit worried too.
He
That's his attack.
grabs the great axe
It's a
that he
psychic.
carries on his back off of his back. He also takes on his back and grabs a bow and a quiver of arrows that he was carrying, and he looks around at all of you and says, do any of you need this? I brought this just in case. Jack, you don't seem to have any ranged weapons.
I do not. That would be excellent.
He tosses you the bow.
Do I need to roll to catch the bow?
No.
Okay,
He looks down at you, Arlo, and says, "You're a caster, no? You don't need a bow and arrow."
I think I'll be all right. I can manage.
Very good.
Torque, I do have a question for you.
Yes. Sorry, I was grabbing a cold drink.
Yes.
Yes, Jack. Anything?
The poison tails that you spoke of earlier. Do you know what sort of poison is on them?
It's the kind that hurts. We don't know if it doesn't seem to paralyze. It doesn't seem to have lasting effects. It just seems to be a very brief, just painful addition to a jab with a spiked tail.
Excellent. I can deal with pain.
As the creatures are about to breach the water, I need you all to roll initiative real quick. And as you are rolling initiative, Torque turns around to Justine, who is kind of afar off, and he yells, "Hey, Juice, stay awake. We might need you." And you hear a very muffled response, "Okay." And everybody's initiative rolls, please.
19?
15.
13.
All
Is it a
right.
possibility that this child could fall asleep during this battle?
That's kind of what I'm praying doesn't happen.
Bird stayed home, right?
Burp stays home, and
I think so.
Misiko.
Misiko.
Wait, did
Yeah.
Misiko leave? Did
Yeah.
No, Misiko's in the one that.
He's preparing to
Yeah,
leave,
he's
though.
preparing to leave.
He left the house.
He left the house before all the discussion about the planium and stuff. Burb, I think, is just staying at the cabin, staying at the headquarters.
Yeah, I forget what reason, but
Well,
he decided to stay.
if there was a reason,
He's tired.
we'll canonize that he is tired. He also doesn't have any weapons anymore. He has a little
That's
crossbow.
true.
That's about it.
Keeps throwing stuff.
So you guys are burbless right
Cast them
now.
off ships.
Burbless.
All right. So as the creatures approach the top of the water, you see there are two of them at first that go after that stuff. You can see more in the bottom, but there are two that jump up out of you initially, and they're actually going to go first in our order. Do you guys want to explain your? So we'll say Torque is like right in the middle of the circle, looking out right behind Grim, who is at the water's edge, left and right of. I'm picturing in my brain. I'm picturing Arlo to the left of him and Jack to the right,
That'll work.
and directly behind by 20 feet is Justine. I'll write that up in just a moment. We have a little whiteboard. I don't want to rely on it too terribly heavily without talking it out for our listeners, but we will absolutely use it for our benefit here in a moment. Okay, so you guys, let's see. I'll write this up very briefly. Writing up Blink 1, Blink 2, Grim.
Graham.
They're coming up. Torque was able to get a pretty good throw. He threw this stuff about 40 feet.
Straight at Arlo.
Yeah,
And Torque, why you strong arming?
he's a big beefy boy. I've
how's
described
his
him.
dexterity though? How's his dexterity, Keith? Come on now.
He threw it good. He threw it good, dang it.
He throwed it good. We leave it at that.
He throwed it.
He throwed it good.
You throwed it real good, Torque.
Okay.
Good.
So, the Blinks, both of them rocket out of the water. They are both going to try to bite at the bait that is now spread out. I'm going to roll to see if they bite. And they are just within that, right on the edge of that ice that you would be able to create as well.
It's not like this has like a 40-foot range. It's like just touch water and it freezes.
Wherever you touch the water, it freezes 20 feet out of that of a radius. So,
I don't think that was explained to Grim. So
Yeah.
he's not like ready to poke the water with it. He's just kind of like holding it up, like ready to point it at them.
okay.
So
I like where this is going, though. I think that's realistic. That makes sense. Okay, so they both go to bite at this thing, and they're going to roll to bite. One of them misses. One of them is just too excited, and he rockets out of the water, and you see him jump up,
Into
or her,
space.
and you can see they're big. Their eyes are big and round and kind of pushed out from their head like fish. Their ears.
What color
I have
are
a
their
better
eyes?
explanation of them. Excuse me.
That new forge is so hot, I got a blister on my hand just from being near it.
wow.
That's hot.
You see its web feet claw up into the air as if it's grabbing at something, but it doesn't quite get a hold of that meat. They have webbing in the pits of their legs, so behind their legs or behind their front arms as well. They have this kind of almost glowing webbing that is under there for their swimming. And they have these big fishy-looking eyes. And that webbing is kind of almost matching that same color that they're swimming in, the water that they're swimming in, that kind of teal seafoam green color. And as it rockets out of the water, Torque turns to you. Here comes the truck. So we may be interrupted very briefly. But Torque, as it rockets out of the water, you hear him say, "Big old fish caps with black chompers. There they are." And as he says that, you can see these black teeth dripping with the water as it snarls as it tries to grab into that meat. The other one doesn't go quite as high because it chomps directly onto the bait and grabs it and goes up into the air and splashes it back down, and it's in the water, thrashing about with that bait.
How big are these
visually,
things?
this is like Shark Week kind of thing where they're like jumping out in the
Yeah,
water.
they're like, from head to tail, they're probably like 8 feet long. Without their tail, they're 6 feet long. Like they're big boys.
Okay.
Formidable. And so that's all that they're both at this point right in the middle of the water. Well, towards you 10 feet. They're 40 feet away from the edge of the water. And they are both attacking this bait at this point. It is now, if I look at my sheet of paper, it is now Arlo's turn.
Woo!
19.
Nope, sorry. I'm reading the wrong list. It's now Grim's turn.
Belated.
Apologies.
Woo!
Yeah, so I write in my list, I write down what you got, and then I write another list down in the right order, and I was looking at the top list.
I'm gonna try to freeze. Are they like still thrashing about on the
They're
top
thrashing.
of the water?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what this is gonna do, so I point at them and try to freeze the water.
Okay, you can feel, like, I guess we'll assume that the way magic things work is like you want them to work, and so they do whenever they work properly. So when you point it out, you try to use it, but nothing really happens. Like, you can feel magic trying to do something through this cane,
Just a stick.
but it feels like you're using it the wrong way. It feels like it's like there's a vibration, but nothing really happens.
Okay.
And the air beneath, like as you point it out, are you pointing the top of it out?
Yeah.
As you point the top of it out, you can feel like a burst of cold air shoot from the bottom of it toward you.
Does that waste my action?
We'll call that. It's an action to use, but we'll call your discovery a bonus action just because it didn't actually, like, the stuff didn't shoot out from it. You didn't have the full effect of what's going on.
Okay.
Just for the sake of discovery.
I'm gonna pull back and just throw it.
Stupid.
Hurl it.
Okay.
Throw it at them. Not just in a random
Okay.
direction.
All right. You're gonna throw it out, then roll a
Yeah.
dex for me.
Okay.
Shoot. Where's
Ooh,
the
he's gotta
description
roll
of that
dex.
item?
I'm gonna roll dex
Why not roll strength? You're a beefy boy.
because I'm
You
a
can
beef.
throw things far.
I'm a beef king.
Beef King.
Beyond the prince.
Welcome to Texas, home of the Beef King.
I got an 11 to just chunk it.
You toss it out there. You don't hit one of them.
Yeah, I was just throwing it in their general
Yeah,
direction,
so
just like it's trash. Kind
We'll
of.
say, I don't know how throwing things work as far as adding distance for your roll. We'll say it doesn't make it 40 feet. We'll say you throw it 20 feet, but this is what happens. You throw it way out there, and as it flips, the bottom end of it goes into the water first, or so you would have expected it to. But when it hits the water, in all directions out from the bottom of this cane, the water freezes 20 feet immediately. Nice. And when it freezes, it hits the ice and bounces again, and then it flips over one more time, and it freezes again, and and it shoots ice out again. So there's this, like, for 3 bounces, it goes and shoots this ice out. On the back end of it, the ice is falling as it leaves the radius, and it melts back into the water. But it bounces 3 times, so it does actually approach them. And the last time that it freezes, it sticks into the ice and sticks almost straight up in the air. The ice is pushed out, and it bumps into the Blinxes that are thrashing about in the water. The ice that gets pushed out, it hits them and pushes them back, and you hear a shriek of as it turns towards you, the 2 of them, and they see you on the bank now. Their eyes reflecting the moonlight, their giant pupils have met your eyes.
It's like big students.
Is that all for your
Giant
turn,
pupils.
Grims?
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
At-
Maybe not as useless as I thought.
I suppose that is how it works then. At least now you know.
Certainly useless now.
It's fine.
We'll get it back for you, Grim. Don't worry.
I'm getting tired of jumping in the water to get people's weapons back for them.
Okay. Let's see. It is now Arlo's turn.
I caught Bird's sword last time.
You did.
Like, cut my hand all up, and then he threw it off again as soon as I ended it.
That's true. Another recap.
Burb should not be gifted with weapons. He's going to get another one, though.
He will.
There you go.
Boomerang.
That'd be awesome. Actually, that would be a pretty cool weapon.
It's just got a strap on the handle.
Velcro.
Yeah.
Like a Wiimote.
I'm kidding. Arlo, I need you to do your turn.
Alright, we're going to do this.
If we're gonna get where we want to get, we gotta have the turn.
There you go. Actually, this looks like it's still kind of happening at a distance. So
Yep.
I am going to turn to Jack, and I'm gonna, like, I can't reach your shoulder, but I'll pat your side, and I'm like, Jack, I don't know about all this. I think you could use a little extra push if you need it. I'm gonna cast something on you, give you a little bit of extra oomph. So I'm gonna cast guidance.
Okay.
Guidance is a cantrip that I didn't even know that I had.
Tell us about it.
It lasts up to a minute to touch one willing creature. Once before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of his choice. It can roll the die before or after making an ability check.
per turn, or is this just one turn?
1 shot for the next minute, so what's that, 10 rounds?
Yeah.
So you got guidance for 1 minute. You
Nice.
can use it one time.
Arlo, I'm gonna act like can I just act like he explained it to me so he doesn't have to do it again?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. It sounds like it'll be very helpful.
No problem. I think if I can kind of keep that up in some of these battles, it might help us out a little bit.
He also didn't say D4 in
Of
his
course, he didn't.
real world explanation.
I didn't. I described it as mojo mumbo jumbo.
Okay. Anything else in your turn?
I'm gonna pass. Other than that, I'm waiting for other stuff to develop.
Okay. Jack, your turn, sir.
There's one. Are any of them out of the water? Like,
They're
No,
still
they're both
flapping
in the
around?
water. Both in
Okay.
the water. On the far end of this ice cube, ice sphere, ice circle. Which now we will say is the edge of it is 20 feet from the shore.
It's like a little
Or
bird
10
floating out
feet.
there.
We'll call it 10 feet from the shore.
would you say I could jump?
You'd have to roll.
Okay.
What
You
does
can't-
fate say?
We can't make decisions on when I tell you you'll have to roll for it or
No, I
not.
just mean like, is that a feasible thing that I
yes,
could jump 10
it is.
feet?
It is feasible that you could jump 10 feet,
Okay.
but you will have to roll an acrobatics. I
Okay.
would say acrobatics for jumping
Yeah.
Not
or athletics.
necessarily, because a running long jump is
That seems
What
like
is it?
athletics more than acrobatics to me.
no, but it's you can
Let's
just
go with
do it
acrobatics.
within a certain as long like that's why I always forget the rules for jumping, but it's like if you run 10 feet before your jump, you can add like strength score. You can jump a total number of feet equal to your strength score if you move 10 feet before the jump.
Okay, what's your strength
I
score?
believe
It's over 10.
is the rule.
My strength score or my strength modifier?
Score.
Score.
My strength score is low because I have a -1 modifier.
Okay, so it's 8.
Okay.
So you'll need to roll for it.
Could also be 9.
Could also be 9.
Arlo is just as strong as you are.
We'll say you roll acrobatics for it.
Okay.
Or yeah, let's say you roll acrobatics. You're a small elf boy. It makes more sense that you do a dancy jump rather than like a Hulk jump. So roll acrobatics for it, and we'll see how it goes.
It
Okay.
would be awesome though.
Yeah,
It'd be awesome.
18.
you make it.
Cool.
Woo!
So Jack, you jump, you back up, and as you run and jump, Torque gives you a thumbs up as you jump out onto the ice, and he yells, "Be careful out there! They might get their teeth a hold of you." And as you hit the ice, your feet plant in, and you slide towards the middle, almost bumping into the staff that was thrown by Grim.
Cool. Can I grab that on this turn?
You can.
All right. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take the staff.
Okay. Pull it. You pick it up. The ice does not disappear.
Okay. Is that? I don't know how much action I've used now.
You can pick up something without using an action. If you pick up something else, you would have used up your action.
All right.
I think the way the rule book says it is you can open a door without using your action, but you can't open a door and pull a lever. That
Okay.
would be a full action.
How do we feel about throwing daggers underwater?
While you're underwater,
No,
or at
like-
something underwater.
At something that is underwater.
Well, they're not underwater. They're like on the surface.
Oh, they have breached.
Yeah, they breached and now
Well,
they're on the
yeah,
surface
two of
messing
them
with the
have.
bait. 2 of them.
Feeding
Okay.
frenzy at the top.
Then I'm gonna throw a dagger at one of them.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Hey.
I'm gonna
Did
roll.
you take your bow with you?
I did, didn't I?
I'll give you a pass on telling you do have a bow now if you want to use it.
What type of bow is it?
It's a short bow.
I don't have the stats for that.
1d6
Yeah, it's a 1d6 dex
Plus-
weapon.
plus
my dex.
Yeah,
Okay. So
you're probably proficient with it. Being
Rogues are, I
being
think.
a rogue boy.
yeah.
I think you probably start with one actually. If you
Yeah,
choose
I could
to.
have
lightly.
I could have a short bow or a light crossbow. I rolled.
So you do take out your bow.
Yeah, we'll go
Okay.
with that. I rolled a 21.
Okay.
Do I add proficiency to it?
Yeah, if you're proficient.
Yeah,
with it,
you'd be. I think
Okay.
you're proficient.
All right, then it's a 24.
All right, you definitely hit. So Jack is out there in the middle. You are about 20 feet from them, right in the middle of that ice. The ice allowed you to slide, so I'm giving you some extra movement. And so, which one are you going? There's one on the right, one on the left, but they're both within like 10 feet of each other at this point.
which one is closer to Grim?
Neither of them. They're both in equidistant from Grim.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go with the one on the left. Okay.
Yep. Okay, one on the left. You
It
knock.
just seems more natural to go leftwards.
Exactly. Where are you aiming for on this thing? You can put it wherever you want it with that.
I'm gonna give it a blowhole. If
right
it,
in its face, or on the top of its head.
like on top of its head.
Okay. So you fire your arrow and it does go into the blowhole right on the top of their head, right in the blowhole. If you've seen, I'm not trying to be racist. That's a line from a great, critically acclaimed movie, Norbit. Okay. So.
Is Norbit critically acclaimed?
I don't think so.
No.
What did they claim about it?
They claimed it was bad.
It was critically bad.
It was critical to someone's health. What kind of damage did you do?
Let's see. Plus sneak attack is.
You get sneak attack? I always forget how it works.
Sneak attack on. Yeah. Sneak attack as long as don't have disadvantage basically at this point.
Okay.
As long as they don't have. Is it within 5 feet of the other one?
10 feet.
Okay. As long as it's not within 5 feet of an ally, or if it is within 5 feet of an ally of mine, then I get sneak attack.
Okay.
It works on anything that is
But
combat.
it's not currently within 5 feet of your ally.
No, but
It's-
it is not within 5 feet of
Okay.
its own ally.
Gotcha. Cool. I like that it's called sneak attack, but you could literally do it right in someone's face at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll damage.
So these aren't going well. All of them are 2s, except for one of them.
You can call it out. Call out those rolls whenever you get them, so the audience has something to do in their head.
2, 5, 2, 3.
Okay. 7,
12.
9, 12.
Yeah,
12 damage.
correct. I don't add proficiency to that, do I?
No, just
Okay.
Dex.
All right, so your arrow doesn't sink in very deep, but it does collide and go under the skin of this Blinx, and it passes through and just.
Oh, I do add dex, so that's another 4.
Okay. All right, so you hear as the arrow hits and it hisses at you and it bears those black teeth at you from the water. Your arrow hits and it cuts through some skin and you can see some blood leaking out of its head and down its fur as your arrow poof, into the water behind it.
Sweet. Sorry, I'm using the app for combat for the first time.
Okay.
I usually have the paper right in front of me and it has all that outlined.
Cool. Does that end your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so it is now the Blinx that you just shot. It is that Blinx's turn. It is going to climb up onto the ice and sprint towards you with his teeth. So, Blinxy boy, getting up on that ice. And he's going to try to bite you. Brice, or Jack.
I'm gonna die in another world.
He rolled an 8.
No.
So yes, he does not succeed. So he's on ice. He's got unsure footing, and as he tries to approach you and leap up at you, his feet slip, and he kind of slides and lands a little bit at your feet.
And I kick him in
he's
his
not
mouth.
able to bite you.
Is he prone?
He is not prone. He just slips a little bit.
Okay.
But he's not prone. And also the second Blinx's turn, who, seeing that you have attacked his friend, is also going to climb up on that ice and try to attack you.
Well, that's just mean.
You are the closest threat.
You are the next bait.
The rest of them could be grass for all they know.
I actually probably could be grass at some point.
Yeah.
I got a
That's
spell
funny.
for that.
20. This one is going to bite you with a 22.
That's gonna hit.
Yep. I'm going to judge. So you got a pretty heavy coat on. It depends. So if these things don't hit your skin, it is likely that they're not going to teleport you away.
Lose your coat.
So we're going to have to figure out.
Well, you technically don't take damage until you're past half your hit points if you want to do it that way.
Yeah. I don't know everybody's hit points. I'll judge it based on like how much damage is applied.
You want to know how many hit points I got, Keith?
No, it's a lot though. I'm sure.
69.
Hey y'all, let's take a break and laugh at Zenas' sex number. I got 420 HP. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, that's a bad podcast thing.
I got
Zenas, you should be
38.
ashamed.
You can edit it
Oh
out,
boy,
man.
Brice. Yeah, this damage is gonna hurt you pretty good. So he bites you with a 13 damage bite. but it doesn't quite pass through your overcoat and your any of the fur that you added to it. It doesn't quite sink its teeth directly in, but that portion of it bites you on an arm. You're able to put an arm forward, and it bites you down kind of right on your elbow, and that hurts a great deal. You can feel like your bones getting pushed together a little bit, but it doesn't quite break the skin through your thick clothing, and it takes its teeth off and like spits some of the fibers of your clothing out as it has bitten you.
Okay.
Cool.
So have I disappeared?
You have not disappeared. No.
Okay. I thought Grim was right on the edge of the water.
He is.
Why was I closer to them, both of them?
You jumped.
You
down
jumped
on the
onto
thing.
the ice, bro.
But that's... So was I beside... I was beside you, right?
You were right here, over beside Grim over here.
The ice pushed them.
Yeah.
They were already 20 feet out, 40 feet out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you jumped on the ice, and then you were the only thing that they could see, really.
I thought they were like coming up out of the water towards Grim originally, and then
No.
he threw this
No, they were
ice
coming
thing
up
on the other side
directly from underneath
No.
the stuff out in the middle, 40
of them.
feet
Oh, okay.
away.
And when you said the ice pushed them, I thought it pushed them more towards Grim.
Come at me.
Oh,
I thought I jumped over them.
Sorry, I pushed him away.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was brave to jump over them and pass through both of their spaces. Yeah.
I didn't know if they'd get an opportunity attack to jump up out of the water and bite me.
No, yeah, they are on the other side of this ice. So for anyone thinking, look at it from the top down. You've got Grim, Torque, and Arlo at the bottom of our field of combat, at the bottom of our big circle. Close to the middle of it, you have a circle of ice, upon which stands Jack and 2 Blinxes, which are the farthest thing at the top of this circle. Understood?
Yeah.
They're closest to the top. They're not at the top. They're just the top thing you'd be looking at.
Cool.
All right, it is now Grim's turn.
How far did you say the
Torque
ice
gonna do
was
something?
Huh?
from us?
Torque.
Oh, it is. Yeah, Torque ought to roll.
Sorry.
You're right. Torque ought to do some stuff.
Work.
Yeah, I'm gonna take his. Excuse me, I apologize.
How do I... Is this maximum health? How do I know?
That's your max health.
Oh, okay.
So
I need to
you
be there.
started this with max health, yeah, but you took 13 points of damage.
Yeah, we're gonna throw Torque in.
You can just click it
Well,
and then change
This
the
is a
number if you
DM
want.
question.
No, click.
I can't remember. When the teeth are removed, they
Plus
don't
11.
have their selective, like I might or might
Yes.
not send it
Anything
to another
you put
dimension.
over there.
Alright.
But
And then
they
you
can,
can also, like-
selectively send
You
something
can
to
also
another
The
change
dimension
animals-
if
and
they
stuff
bite you.
like that.
The animals seem. What Corinne told you was the animals seem to be able to select whether they teleport back or not.
That's actually really cool.
Thanks.
I figured it out, or well, I looked it up. It's if you move 10 feet before you cover strength score. 10 feet before strength score.
Okay. So if you
On the
get
jump.
10 feet worth of run, you get your straight scores worth of
Movement.
jumpy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jumpy boy.
Otherwise, it's dex.
No, it's always strength.
Oh, it's strength. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
so
if you just straight jump, you can only do half.
Okay.
If you jump without moving, you can do half your strength score.
Okay.
And each foot you jump costs a foot of movement.
All right. That kind of
Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah.
Mechanically, it makes sense at least.
I feel like it should be something you could interchange with dexterity.
You can if you're a monk, maybe?
Okay, so Torque is going to swing that great
Bard.
axe. No,
Bard.
he's not. He's going to jump as well onto the ice. He says as he jumps, "This is pretty helpful." So he backs up about 10 feet and gives himself a good run and leaps onto the ice where he slides towards the middle as well. And he is going to take his big great axe and go for the one that you put an arrow in their head, and he's going to try to swing down on it. And he's going to miss. The ice, the ice also caused him to lose his footing. So as he brings down his axe, Jack, you actually have to duck out of the way a little bit, and his axe buries into the ice right where the cane used to be. And he says, "Sorry about that, Jack. Loose footing." And
I
he
can
pulls it back
understand.
up. It is now. We're going to say that Torque went before those Blinxes. You know, whatever. That's where I'm putting him in the order. So now it's Grim's turn.
Okay. No, that's the wrong one. How far away is the ice, did you say?
10
us?
feet from land.
10 feet from land?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, I got you. I know what's going
And
on.
Jack, you're holding the cane, am I right?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
The
So
king is
how
like frozen
far-
into the thing.
No, he pulled it out.
Okay.
How far are the Blinxes from
They're
me?
in the middle of the ice, so
Mhm.
they would be, if you jump 10 feet, then travel, they're about 30 feet from you,
Okay. So,
distance-wise.
all right, so I am going to do that. I'm going to jump over first
Okay.
because I can just I can make it with just a jump.
Sure, you leap.
And then
Big
I'm going
legs.
to leg day every day. I'm going to run up to one of them. Just be with the general group.
Yep.
And I'm going to cast. Where is it? Second level. I'm going to cast spiritual weapon.
Okay.
It's going to be in the form of a hammer, and I'm going to make it appear in between them, but focused like it's going to swing at the one on the right.
Okay, the one that's been untouched so far.
Yeah.
Okay. There's now a spiritual weapon between them.
Does the 10 hit?
A 10 will not hit. It's able to scoot out of the way of the 10.
Okay, and then I'm going to also hit the one on the left with a Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead.
A target you choose must succeed on a wisdom saving throw as the death bells toll around it. If the target is missing any hit points, it takes 1d12 necrotic damage. But since I'm after 5th level, it's going to take 2d12 plus spellcasting.
Okay. It rolled a 12.
That don't save.
Nice.
So it's going to take 2d12. It's a 5, 8 plus. It's going to take 11 damage.
Okay. Cool.
11 necrotic damage.
All right.
If
Gotcha.
that matters. And that's all I'm going to do.
Okay. So it told the dead. That's the bell things.
That's the bell thing.
Okay. So it begins to make its like hissing as no one else hears the bells, but I assume it hears the bells.
I think we just decided that it and I do.
Okay.
But no
Gotcha.
one else does.
As you hear the bells ring around it, and everyone else can see the discomfort that this thing is being caused. Arlo, it's your turn.
Okay. Seeing that Jack took a bite, I am going to deploy the health squirrel.
Okay.
It's I'm gonna use the healing spirit again. It's a 60-foot range, so you want me to read it out real quick? Or?
Yeah. Give me a quick read.
Call forth a nature spirit to soothe the wounded. That's you.
That's me.
The intangible spirit appears in a space that is a 5-foot cube you can see within range. The spirit looks like a transparent beast or fey. Your choice until the spell ends. Whenever you or a creature you can see moves into the spirit space for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, you can cause the spirit to restore 1d6 hit points to that creature. No action required. I can also move it 30 feet as an action.
Okay.
Oh, as a bonus action.
It's
So-
well within your range to move it over there as a bonus action.
Yeah. Well, no, I can conjure it within 60 feet.
Okay, gotcha.
So like I envision like this glowing squirrel appears on the ice and just like latches on and like climbs up to your shoulder.
Cool. Yeah, what's your
And-
spider doing as well, Jack?
He's also on my shoulder.
Cool.
Spidering.
So this looks like the little devil and the angel.
Yeah. Instead of Snow White, you're Snow Black.
Yeah.
The spider and spirit creatures.
Just roll ye old d6 and you get a mighty 4 worth of them healths.
Yay!
Cool.
This
I'm
is
like
actually
emo Snow White at this
in
point.
terms of how long it lasts and based on like the levels you can use, this is actually like the strongest healing spell in the game.
Wow.
Just
I
because
like
it lasts so long, and you
Oh,
can
no.
do you don't have to like he can still heal with his action and heal
Yeah.
with no action.
That's cool.
If they're back to back, they both get healing.
Cool.
We are back to back,
Yeah.
You're very close.
but I'm not injured since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all
Within
on the
5
ice
feet.
now?
Yeah, not everybody. Arlo's not. The squirrel is.
I'm spectating, I'm hanging back a little bit, but I also lobbed a health squirrel towards you, so there you go.
How big is this tide pool?
100 feet across.
Okay.
Is she big?
Perfectly circular.
How deep is it?
Very deep.
Thousands.
Have we plumbed such
thousands
depth?
of inches?
Thousands.
It is thousands of inches deep.
Thousands
At
of
least.
inches. I'm gonna need these measurements in metric. I'm sorry.
Thousands.
Not
of
here in
meters,
America, you won't.
centimeters,
Boom.
millimeters,
Sorry.
billions. of
Sorry,
millimeters.
Europeans and everywhere else.
How
All right.
how deep is it in leagues? Can we measure in leagues?
At least
At
20,000.
least hundreds.
No.
Let's get some D&D done.
Jack, is it your turn?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Is
Yep.
It is.
Okay.
Tell me what you will do with it.
Guess
the,
what?
The one that bit me.
You started your turn within the squirrel range.
Give me that squirrel.
Congratulations! You've started your turn within the squirrel range.
You get 5.
Yay.
Nice.
Wait, make sure you click heal.
Health squirrel.
Yeah.
Bryce and I have the same app,
Yeah.
And anytime you go to like heal or damage or do temp HP to yourself, it always starts on the damage.
Yeah.
So I've countless times been like, oh, I've taken 13 points of healing. Let me get that. And I drop down. Like,
Oh,
wait
I
a
died.
minute. Hold up.
Yeah, our app does the same thing too. Okay.
The
Jack.
one that bit me.
Yes.
I am going to cast Hex on it.
Hex.
You did.
Hex.
You get your 5 heals?
Huh?
You
I
got
did.
your 5 heals. Cool.
Open my phone, you big dummy. So, with Hex, oh, it's a bonus action. Nice. I'm going to Hex it.
Hex
I
it.
place a curse on it. Until the spell ends, I deal an extra d6 of necrotic damage.
Ooh.
And I also choose one ability. The target has disadvantage on ability checks made with the chosen ability.
Cool.
And I'm going to make it dexterity. Go
Okay.
with that.
Cool.
Well, no, strength. Because if I jump back across, I want it to fail at jumping.
Okay.
Okay, so it has disadvantage on strength checks. If it drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, I can use a bonus action to move it to a new creature.
Okay. Cool.
The duration is 1 hour.
What does it look like when you do this to cast a hex?
It does not describe it. Would
So
you
you
like?
get to tell me?
I picture just kind of like you don't really see anything like from his hand or anything like that, but like you kind of see like the cat just kind of pulse with like a kind of a blurry look, like it kind of looks like it goes out of focus for a second, and then it looks like it's kind of on guard, like it feels like there's danger about.
Okay. Gotcha. Jack, what did you just do to that Blinx?
It's been cursed. That's not Jack at all. It's been cursed. It now takes more damage when you hit it. It'll start to rot.
Splendid.
That sounds like my cup of tea.
He grips tighter on his axe. Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to chop at its head
Okay,
with
chop
my
it.
other cleaver. I'm gonna use a luck point.
Okay.
That's
+7.
yeah, trying to 12.
Total.
Yeah.
That's not going to hit.
Oh,
He's
wow.
able to get away from that one.
All right.
He's able to dodge that blade. These things are very, very dexterous, very quick. They're used to swimming and hunting on land. So, it scoots out of the way. Sorry.
That is the scooting noise.
All right. So it is
Those are
cursed
some
though.
real bad rolls.
You still got guidance.
Oh, that's too late.
For your, yeah, you could have used it if you can still use it if you want. I don't care. I don't remember what it does actually.
D4.
How does
Adds
it
a
help?
D4 to an ability check.
Will 13 do it?
No, just
Okay.
keep that guidance. It's
That's what I
fine.
thought.
All right.
That was kind of
Yeah.
a low roll to put guidance on.
Yeah. So you missed that one, but as soon as you miss with the cleaver and the Blinx is excuse me, is dodging out of the way. Torque instead of swinging at it with his axe, he says, "I'll try to hold it down," and he puts his axe on his back and tries to grab onto this Blinx on its back and roll it over to where he's on his back holding this Blinx. That's what he's going to do. So I'm a strength check, Torque against this Blinx. And it has disadvantage on the strength. I'm not going to let it use dexterity because this guy's got his arms kind of wrapped up. And the Blinx is not able to get out. So the Blinx is now grappled by Torque. Torque is holding on to this big lion cat. He's jumped on its back and rolled it over to where the body of this Blinx is now facing the other Blinx as well as you all. So he is kind of using it as cover from the other one so that you guys have maybe a better shot at trying to hurt it. And so that's going to be his action. It is now Blinx number 1's turn. It's going to try to strength out of there, but it has disadvantage on strength checks because it's cursed, and it is unable to do so. Wait, how do you... It would be another strength check to get out the grapple? Or do I set a DC for that?
It's another strength check.
Yeah.
Okay. He does not succeed. Grim still holds on. He says, "I've got him! Get him!"
Grim don't.
I mean, Torque has him. Excuse me. It is now Grim's turn.
Okay.
Directly in front of you, Torque is laying on the ground with the Blinx.
So are we saying he's restrained or just grappled?
He's restrained. He's
restrained.
He's held down, held back.
So,
I guess, that's
0
fine by me.
speed, It has disadvantage on dex saving throws, and attack rolls have advantage. Creatures' attack rolls have disadvantage. Okay.
He's got him held down.
Got him. All right. Which one did he get? The one
on the left,
on
directly
the
in front of you.
left? Okay. I'm going to make my hammer swing at the one on the right again.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's not going to do. That's a 9.
Whew. Bad rolls today. Yeah, that's going to miss.
Don't do. Okay, so that happens.
Normally y'all roll like in the 20s for everything to hit.
Yeah, and then I don't. And then I'm going to swing at the thing. I'm going to punch at him twice. I'll go lower abdomen shot.
2 punches on his belly.
Okay, that's a 22
Yep.
to hit for the first one.
That'll hit.
And unnatural 20 for the second one.
Both will hit.
Okay, and then so 5, 10, 26.
26 damage to the one on the left, right? The one that's restrained.
C.
Okay.
Now, does Hex take effect if I hit him as well, or is it just you?
I don't really know.
Go back and check on that.
I don't think it's specified though as when
It doesn't feel like it would be just
till
you.
the spell ends, you deal an extra
Oh,
1d6.
yeah, so just-
Never mind. As fast as I can say it. Proven wrong. Okay, it is now, Grim, if you're finished, it is Arlo's turn.
I be.
Okay. I am.
Yeah, it could just be the wording of it. I mean, it could be if it takes damage, blah blah blah. I don't know.
I hadn't done this in a while. I think I'm actually going to use the wild shape.
Shape up.
I'm going for. I can do it now. I'm going.
Like the shoe.
Sketches.
I think I'm actually going for my first flying one. I'm gonna go for a giant eagle.
Giant, good golly.
Yeah.
Giant eagle. All right, big boy time.
Going giant eagle. The cool thing about giant eagle is my health squirrel is concentration. I can still maintain concentration.
Okay, cool.
So, and I do have a language as a giant eagle because apparently it speaks giant eagle, so I can still cast verbal spells.
Apparently so. Okay.
You have to speak in giant eagle in character.
That's true. That works for me.
There's a couple of wild shapes that have like a weird obscure language you can actually use, so I'm gonna give it a shot.
V cool. VV cool.
I am going for it. All right. So I can do that as a bonus action. I am going out there and I'm going to see if I can swipe at one of them, whichever's closer, I guess.
Okay.
Right.
For you, it would be also the one on the left. I mean, he's got it held down.
Okay.
It's also not looking quite as good as it did when it started out after those 2 gut punches of necrotic damage to its belly.
Is it bleeding?
It's bleeding from its head.
What color is its blood?
It's not black, but it's like green or red with like a greenish hue. It's not what you would expect blood to look like. It's kind of like a lighter red, almost looks a little bit yellowy.
Like
Well, there you
blood
go.
mucus.
Why?
That's
Alright.
juicy right there. All right.
I don't know how to answer that question.
Do you deal double damage to non-red-blooded creatures?
Sometimes.
I'm gonna.
Horseshoe crabs.
I'm gonna slurp it. Josh, tell me what the heck you gonna do
I get a multi-attack.
after you wild shape.
Yeah. Because wild shape is a bonus action for me.
Cool beans.
Home skillet.
Double attack it. This is not
So
gonna
I've
go
got
well for this creature.
I've got
I
an
don't believe.
80-foot flying range. I think I can
You'll make it.
Cool. Number 1, caca. And number 2, I'm going to do a beak attack and a talon attack. So let's see what we got.
How large are you?
Lord of the Rings eagle.
Okay, good gravy. That's big eagle.
It's a big boy. It's a large beast.
Okay,
Large beast. So it's a 7 plus 5 is 12.
that won't hit.
All right. So beak misses. How does the talons do? No, that's a 2 plus a 5.
You're just getting used to You're getting used to
We
being an
suck.
eagle.
Unwieldy.
So, as you're coming down for that initial attack, you're just he's writhing. You don't want to hit torque with your talons or beaks, so you're kind of a little bit cautious with it. So you miss as you do that pass over.
Okay. So I'm doing the passover. I'm not stopping there. I'm actually I'm just gonna fly around in circles overhead
Okay, cool,
within range.
very cool.
Because I am swoosh and pass, is there an attack of opportunity?
Do you? It would say
It says not.
flyby.
It says not.
If it doesn't say flyby, then yeah, you'd get AOs.
Okay.
Oh.
But he is restrained.
He
That
can
one
still
is.
attack.
That
That's
one
his
is.
disadvantage.
That one is not going to try to attack you. It is not concerned. It doesn't really even know that you attacked it. But the other one is going to try to take that attack of opportunity. It's going to try to leap up and grab you by the ankle, your unclothed ankle, may I add.
Okay.
Are you sure a giant bird was the best? These are cats. So, but they're also fish.
They're
so
fish cats.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
you never
way is
really
this going?
know. Its disadvantage is equaled out by an advantage. This bad boy is going to roll a 22 to bite you.
A 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to make it.
Oh boy, we might have our first blink out of the existence here. Not existence. That's a bad way to put it.
I like existing. That's basically all I do.
No, it reaches up and goes to bite you with its teeth, and it just barely nicks you, and it doesn't get a good grip on you, so you don't go anywhere. But you can feel a weird magical effect
Tingle.
whenever it scratches through barely scratches through the skin of your foot.
Got me one
as
of them
it lands back
dimensional
onto the
boo-boos.
ice. And as it does land back on the ice, the first Blinx. Never mind, it's going to be Jack's turn.
Okay. I am going to. Are both Blinxes still near me?
Yes, they are both directly like in front of you.
All right, let me check something.
You're the middlemost player.
Okay. So everybody is within 10 feet of me at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will not do that. I'm going to go for the restrained one because that's the hexed one. So
Mhm.
I'm going to chop him with my blade.
Okay.
With booming blade, that
Ooh,
is.
yeah.
Advantage.
Huh? Why do I have
It's
advantage?
restrained.
Because it's restrained.
Oh. Yes. Thank you. Let me check something real quick.
The suspense
Sorry.
of what that roll was.
I rolled a 19 plus
That'll hit.
7.
That'll hit.
Okay. So
You bury that cleaver in its abdomen.
5, 3,
8.
4, 12. 7, 19.
Yep.
6, 25.
You
plus
kill it.
4.
You bury that cleaver directly into the chest of the Blinx, and as you do, that light red kind of yellowy blood shoots out of it, and it just kind of goes over the side of it, drenches Torque. And Torque feels the life leave its body as your knife cracks through its ribs and you cut through organ. You hear him say, "Nice, that's one!" And he rolls it off. It kind of rolls off of him after it's dead.
Bonus action. I move the curse from one to the other.
Nice.
Cool.
Everybody notices the other one go.
He got the voop.
You got the voop. Jack, it is it's Torque's
It's my turn again?
No, it's not. Torque
I'ma kill
rolls
him.
the first
Do
blink,
it.
the first Blinx off of him and leaves it dead, bleeding on the ice there. He stands up and moves to chop the other one as it stands there.
Well done, Torque. I couldn't have killed that one without you.
My pleasure. He's getting pretty excited at this point, and he is going to roll. He's not going to hit again. As he stands up, he grabs his axe, he swings it, and the Blinx is able to kind of step back a little bit and get out of the way of that axe coming by.
Did you take some health on your last turn?
I did not, but am I full health yet? No. How much?
We're going to find out. Where?
I'm at full health.
All right. The squirrel is pleased. It is now.
Squirrel on standby.
All right, so Blinx number 1
Medical grade
has
squirrel.
died, and how convenient after its death that as soon as that one dies, you see a bubbling at the water next to the ice, and you can see, if you looked over, you can see another Blinx rocketing towards the surface after that meet. Blinx number 2 is going to do his best to try to attack our buddy Torque here, and he is going to give the bite.
If I were to say spend my turns running around in a circle trying to seal up this entire tide pool, would that be possible?
Because you saw that when the thing was bouncing, it only does a 40-foot
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
circle.
Yeah, because you don't have a line to the thing in the middle. It's only
Okay.
if you cast it again, the other ice disappears.
Gotcha.
is actually going to succeed in biting Torque.
Do we? All right. You say we need 6 teeth.
No, you need 6 Blinks' worth of teeth, she said.
Okay.
They each have thousands of teeth.
They each have a lot of teeth.
It's like a shark. It's just rows and rows and rows.
They do have they have shark-like teeth.
They do.
They are have do. They are have do with teeth do have be.
They have do.
But their teeth do have. They have many rows of teeth that go back into their.
All right, we're just gonna
throat.
hold
It is
the
so he
heads.
say.
Yeah. 8 damage is done to Torque.
If I remove this head and use it like a hand puppet, can I launch these other Blinxes into the other world?
Weapons out of Blinx teeth. Here we go.
Okay. So Torque is going to get bit. He's going to get bit on his leg, but he is also wearing some pretty thick trousers, so the teeth don't quite go through with this bite.
Pants gone.
Trousers, not pants.
I think he meant like
The
The pants are in another dimension. Trousers.
Yeah, they have the Blinxes have the ability to choose. If they were smart, they would just strip poker you to death until they didn't have anything to bite through. But they're not intelligent. That ends the turn of the Blinxes. It is Grimm's turn.
I'm gonna swing at him with my hammer. That's a 10. That's a 10 for my hammer.
Oh, that's not gonna hit. Sorry.
That's it. Just
Punch
10.
him for a 26.
Yeah, that hit.
I'm good with the punchings. Punch him for a 23.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Uh,
Can we just take a brief second to look at the haphazard hunting party we have? Let's go hunting. Grim brandishes his fists. Jack has a butcher's cleaver that is way too early to be using on an animal that you hunted. And then one of you just turned into an eagle, which really makes the most sense.
one of us is a bird.
Alright, so what kind of damage you do?
I have a spider
24, you
and a
said?
squirrel temporarily.
Yep.
Wait, hold up. Yeah, it's 24.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Alright, you punch him, and 2 patches of necrotic damage are done to the side of him as you punch him in his side a little
ribs, we'll say.
bit. In his ribs. And his skin begins to decay. And you hurt him, and he lets out another. They make funny noise.
That's all I'm doing.
Alright, Arlo, it's your turn, bird boy.
All right. There's only one still on the ice, right?
Correct.
All right. I'm making a pass at the same one that just took the
Okay.
damage. So let's see what it got.
Smack it.
Let's see what it got. Wait, should I do app or dice?
Do dice, man.
We're gonna do it. All right. Plus
Hard
5.
dice.
19 plus 5.
That will hit.
Whee! All right. So let me roll the other one and see what else happening. 19 plus 5.
That will hit.
All right.
You cheat, but that will hit.
I rolled a dice.
I know, I'm kidding. I
rolled
watched
a
you
dice.
roll.
All right. So it is a 1d6 plus 3 on the bite.
Okay.
So it's a 3 plus 3, 6. 6 for a bite, and 2d6 plus 3 for a talons.
Okay.
So 4, 1. So 5 plus 3, 8.
Okay.
8 for the talons. So I get in a bite, and then I rake him with the talons.
All right. You rake across his back and give him a beaked bite with across his back, and each of them open the skin up, and blood begins to leak out of this creature as you pass by.
Cool.
And again, seeing that you've passed by, it is going to try to reach up and slash you with its claws as,
Bring
you,
it on,
as you
bro.
pass by. Will a 16 hit?
Yeah.
All right.
Just gonna stay away from this critter.
That's 7 damage.
7 of those.
Yes, sir. He scratches at your leggies again. A little bit of blood
Leg
leaks down your white or your brown feathers.
What damage did I take last time?
I don't remember. It wasn't much.
I don't remember either.
I want to say 5.
Cool. Take 5. Okay.
I don't remember.
I got 5 of them demos.
Tell us in the comments if you want to, or tell us on Twitter at TakeMediaGames.
Over 9,000.
Jack, your turn, sir.
Ooh, goody. I'm actually gonna use another one of my spells. I only
Okay.
got 3 of them, so I'm gonna use them.
Use them.
I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt on this thing.
Okay.
Nice.
How does spellcasting work? I just roll.
No, that might be different. Beam of crackling energy toward the creature within range. Form makes a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. Make a ranged spell attack. Yeah, so roll with, since it's you You do either charisma or intelligence because it's either a warlock or a wizard spell.
Mine is
There's fly in
charisma
here.
or
It's killing me.
right.
It's Arlo.
But did you get it being a warlock or did you get it being a wizard?
that one's my wizard one.
Wizard one? Okay, so you use your intelligence, which is... Okay, +3.
Yeah, they don't.
Why is it +6? Why is your attack
Save.
plus... No, why is your attack +6?
We're gonna wait to see what they do and figure out over there across the table.
Oh, no, yeah, it is +6. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. So, whatever, +6.
A 14.
That will not hit.
Darn it!
Your witch bolt passes directly in front of this creature as it faces towards the man it just bit, being Torque, and it passes between Torque and the Blinx and hits the water, crackling with a little sploosh.
Little sploosh.
Little sploosh. That's what they call him. That's my rap name.
Can I still take a bonus action with a weapon?
You could throw a dagger with the bonus
You can
action.
cast a cantrip with it. No. There's an action to cast that. No. You can do a bonus action, but you can't do a cantrip or another spell.
Yeah. Can I use my weapon as a bonus action? My dagger.
If you're dual wielding. Because
More
it
like
has
a
the
roguey
light.
question.
It has the light property.
I think you could.
Yeah.
I think you could slash with the dagger. as a
We've
bonus
done that
action.
before.
Yeah,
I'm
we
slash
have.
with a dagger. Death a 19.
Got a hit.
Yep.
You jam this dagger into this blank.
Cool. 4, 7, plus 4 is 11.
Plus your
Oh, wait, plus
curse,
the,
whatever hex.
Oh yeah. Plus the actual dagger itself did 2, that's 13, plus hex is 17.
Alright.
17 damage with that dagger attack. I just gotta stop casting spells. That's just
Okay, yeah,
Jack
so
wasn't built for this.
you stab him for 17 points of damage. You bury that knife in his chest with your dagger, but it doesn't hit anything vital, and the Blinx is still alive.
Good old stabby.
It is now Torque's turn, who says, "I'm gonna get you this time!" And he raises his axe and brings it down on, hopefully, on the Blinx.
It's Jack.
And nope, he can't. These dice, man. Anytime I play as an NPC, they suck so bad.
Try it. Try it.
We'll try the tiny dice. Nope, even worse. Okay, so Torque again buries his axe again into the ice beneath you, and a big cracks from both ends of his axe across the ice. And if
Torque, what are you doing?
it wasn't intentional, I'm sorry. As he yanks his axe out of the ice, I will get this thing.
Would I be? There's no way I can toss this staff to Grim in the middle of this, right?
I'm like,
I mean, it's right there.
I'm
You
right.
could say grab
It's
it.
like toss it, but across a.
Yeah.
You just.
You guys
Like,
are. You
like
guys
if
are.
I actually toss something to you from here.
You guys are pretty much sitting farther away than you're standing right now.
Okay.
The game, you don't understand?
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand. I'm just saying, can I pass it to him?
Of course
without,
you
Okay.
Just tell him that you're. Yeah. Just,
Grim,
Yes.
I toss it
okay.
to him
Grim grabs it.
from
grab
3
it.
feet
Yep.
away.
I grabs it.
Grim grabs
it.
confusedly.
I turn around
Thank you,
backwards
Jack.
and present to him the staff.
Okay. It is now
Baton pass.
It is now someone else's turn.
Catfish.
Yes.
Catfish.
Right on the other side of the ice, actually, behind you, 2 more Blinxes out of the water, and they're up on the ice now. They've seen the commotion, and they felt the vibrations of this ice thing on top of the water, and they've rocketed up, and they have landed right behind you, and they're going to attack.
This was a really bad idea.
We're only 10 feet from the shore.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you're not far.
I can only jump 8.
And as far as you can tell, this tide pool, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the walls of it seem to go straight down.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You mentioned it.
All right, so they rocket up behind you. One of them is going to try to bite Grim. The other's going to try to bite Jack.
No.
Blinx number 3 is going to try to bite Grim for a
He misses.
I
I claim it.
a 15.
He hits.
I claim.
I was wrong.
We need to get this fly out of here.
We do.
I'm
What
gonna,
is your armor?
There's gonna be a loud. I've only got the light armor on because
He-
someone stole my half plate.
He hits you for 8 damage.
Oh, I'm down.
Oh yeah, you got missing armor still.
The other one is going to bite at Jack with a
All right, there's gonna be a
unnatural
loud
20.
clap in a second, but it's worth it.
No,
I
don't.
promise.
We're almost at the end of the episode. We'll take care of
Okay,
it.
it's okay.
Zenas, I beg of
It's
you,
fine.
don't clap that
All right,
cup.
It's okay.
Jack, I'm gonna assume that hits you, brother. Oh boy. Let's pause. We had to take a brief break that was expected, but I lost track of time, so we are back. The
about an
last
hour.
thing that happened, I was rolling damage for a bite that actually happened on Jack Law, and this bite did enough.
That damage.
Didn't? No, I'm not. He did. It did. I think 13 damage.
Again.
And Jack,
Lucky number 13.
unthinkingly, turned around and used that same elbow to try to block this bite.
What a dummy.
And Jack,
Come on, Jack, you
Yeah.
moron.
and Jack feels the teeth of this creature sink into his body.
Peace out, y'all.
And no sooner does he feel the teeth of this creature sink into his body than he is warm. Very warm. Also, he's very wet. The thing that the teeth sinks.
I'm being born.
The teeth sink into you, and as you blink, you close your eyes into the night sky of the world you're currently in, and when you open them again, you feel the sweltering heat of a tropical climate. There is nothing around you but water, and you feel weightless for just a moment as you fall down and sploosh into a giant sea of this sea foam teal green colored water. And what falls with you is a Blinx that is attached to your arm. But no sooner than you hit the water does that Blinx blink out of existence.
What a tool.
So you are currently now in a sea, treading water assumedly, with no land in sight. And on the other side of things, the whole party, at once Jack was there, and then Jack was not there for about half a second, and then returning without Jack was a Blinx that blinked back into existence.
And in the disappearance of my body, the air around me came crashing back together into a clap.
Yes, sure. Or maybe
That's
that
what
was
would happen.
a scary fart.
That would be cool though.
I'd create like a vacuum bubble in the middle
That's
of the
true.
air.
Yeah, so...
So all
That's what
enemies
that
within
sounds
3
like.
miles just die right now.
Yes,
Even us.
not true. So,
We're not technically enemies.
whenever that happens, Torque is standing there and he sees Jack go and he says, "It was bound to happen eventually. We can handle this. Justine, we need you!"
She's asleep.
Wait! What happened to the medical squirrel?
The medical scroll is still here.
Okay. The squirrel has dropped.
Yeah, and the medical scroll drops to the ground. As Torque calls out to her, you hear a very high-pitched voice say, "Okay, I'll be right back," from a great distance. And if you looked over there, you could see her like peek out from underneath the cloak that she was covered in to keep her warm.
I'm gonna kill her.
But right now it is the second Blinx's turn, who is going to try to bite Torque, who just was the last person to swing at him. He is going to hit Torque. He may also be getting blinked out of existence. Oh, it looks like he definitely is. Torque also gets bit in this situation. And I just rolled
Everything.
for an amount of damage. So he gets bit right on his leg, and the teeth, you can hear them crunch through the fabric of his trousers, and then bloop, just the same way as Jack. He blinks out of existence, and then the only thing that returns is the Blinx. It comes back without him. It seems that they get rid of you in the hopes to maybe come back for you later or something. So Jack, you witnessed Torque right beside you in the same spatial area that you were in the other world. He blinks into existence, falls and hits the water, and on his way down he says, "Oh, hey, Jack!"
Hey, Torque. How's the battle going out there?
Not so great. We're both here, but Justine should be coming to get us.
Excellent. Is there any time separation between this world and the other?
Not that we know of. If we go back, we'll go back right at the same amount of time. Or at the same time of day. Or at least we should.
I follow. Thank you.
Admittedly, we haven't tested this, too many times. We try to stay away from these things.
I wouldn't test it very often myself. I can understand that.
You go back 24 hours before you got there.
He begins. We're in a Prisoner of Azkaban scenario. No, not really. So he begins to tread water. Now, Grim, it is your turn.
Alright. How many Blinxes are up there?
3.
3? Okay. They blinked back in the same general location? Okay, then
They're all within like 5 feet of you at this point.
I'm just gonna...
What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
Touch him.
It's time.
Okay.
Right where we are, I'm going to cast...
Also, it should be noted that those two Blinxes that came out of the water most recently, they were markedly smaller than the first two you were dealing with.
I don't want to...
More condensed.
I don't want to do
smaller,
that. We're not there yet. We're not at that level of combat yet. So I'm going to have my hammer swing at the one that was the second one.
Okay, the one that's most injured right in front of you.
Yeah.
Right in front of you.
That is a mighty 12.
That will not hit.
Poo-poo.
Those poor hammer.
Yeah, he sucks. I'm going to swing 15.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Another 15.
Both hit.
Okay. 16 and 14 for a grand total of 30 damage.
All right, so
Going for the cranium.
your two punches to the head of this creature cave in its skull, and it dies right there on the spot. It lays down nearby, or it falls down near to the other one that was dead. Okay. So you have off 2 Blinxes.
I'm gonna turn to another one and what would Grim do? Because like he's upset that Jack and Torque are gone, but he knows that Justine can go get them.
Yeah.
Family like a biker gang, Juice and Torque.
Yeah. It depends on it's Juice it's the first 3 letters, JUS. It just sounds like another word, I guess. But no, they're not a biker family.
As far as we know.
I guess it depends on how much you trust her, her abilities. It depends on how trustworthy you are. That they seem confident she can handle it.
They had a moment once.
Sure,
so
they did.
For now, it's fine. It's only been like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he'll just like wipe his nose and kind of breathe in and just glare menacingly at the other one.
Okay, so you turn around at the other 2 behind you.
Yeah.
That takes a bonus action.
Arlo, it's your turn, sir.
All right.
It's 1 bonus action, 2 minutes.
Are you healing me as well?
Yeah, the squirrel's right there.
Is it not?
You're within 5 feet of it.
Do we skip my turn?
No.
Your turn is after...
Oh, I'm before the Blinxes. I thought it was right after the Blinxes.
You're right after me.
You want to roll for that?
What? Oh, yeah.
Roll for that.
6.
Boy.
Maximum squirrel.
Okay. Donka.
You good?
Yeah, man.
You nice and healthy now? Juicy?
Yeah, I'm nice and healthy.
Juicy. Okay. All right. Noticing that there are now 2 of our companions in the missing, and Grim is now on the ice by his lonesome, I am going to fly over and I'm going to cast Blight upon one of them.
Okay.
All right. Whichever one's behind Grim.
I think I'm facing both of them.
Yeah, I will say he turned around, so there's just 2 at the bottom end of this ice.
Nice.
So.
These are the 2 fresh ones.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to swoop down overhead, not within range, and cast Blight. I just have to be within 30 feet.
Okay.
So take a pick, either one.
We'll say
got
the
a
left one.
wrong one, the right one.
You can't tell me either one.
Well, they're the same. It's okay. Must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I got to save a DC of 15.
I beat it. I rolled 17.
Doodles.
Or the Blinx rolled 17.
Doodles. All right. I fly on by.
What should have done?
8d8.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
That'd
No,
be cool.
half as much on a successful.
Oh,
Roll it,
yeah.
man.
Take 16 of those spicy damage.
Okay.
16.
The spicy damage, boys.
It's a spicy damage boy.
Blight is a new thing for me. It's a
All right,
new thing.
so
Not
16
new for
damage.
me.
I know, right? Good call on that one. Thank you.
What does it do? I mean, was it just?
It's necrotic.
Yeah, it is necrotic damage. Necrotic energy washes over a creature of your choice, so you can see within range, draining moisture and vitality from it. Being a catfish, I figured.
Yeah, so all the air seeps out of it, seeps out of its fur, and it's completely dry and, quite frankly, kind of puffy at this point.
Catfish
as
jerky.
the necrotic damage washes over it.
Nice.
Cool.
So it's a bit desiccated, but still hanging in there.
Yep.
Catfish mummy.
There you go.
That your turn?
That is it.
Okay, Jack.
I'm continuing Overwatch.
It's your turn, so.
I'm a prepared action.
Okay. What is it?
If any cat creatures appear in here, I'm going to chop them.
Okay. Cool.
Clever.
You want to limit it to if you see a cat creature within range, you'll chop it?
Yeah,
I think you should do that.
I will.
Hint,
Cool.
hint.
No, I just mean like that way you don't limit yourself to one plane or another. I'll allow you to not limit yourself to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would have done it anyway. I shouldn't have said that. That sounded silly. Torque is going to do the same thing. He's going to prepare an action. He grips his axe and he says, as you both are obviously like preparing to, trying to get your bearings on where you'll come back, and maybe it kind of looks like you're calculating like where you came in at, and you're trying to remember where those Blinxes were. Torque reaches towards you as you tread water, and he touches your shoulder and he says, "Justine should be here in just a moment. We'll be headed right back."
Please stand by.
And no
Yawning. Hang on.
And no sooner does he. Go ahead. Sorry.
Torque, will we return to where we were, or will we return to where she was?
It depends on where she puts us. I'm going to ask her to, put us back where we were.
Excellent. And can she take more than one at a time?
She should be able to. Like I said, we don't have a lot of tests for this.
Splendid. Suppose we'll find out.
Okay. And as you say that, no sooner do you get that sentence out of your mouth, then you feel the pressure of something appear between you. And it's a little blonde-haired girl who is bundled up in winter clothes. And she comes right between the two of you, and she's there in the water, and she says, "I don't think I've ever done two before, Torque." And he goes, "Give it a try." She's like, "It's probably going to hurt."
Take like the fly.
Take Torque first. Just leave me here.
"No, I'm taking you both." And as she says that, boom, you cease, to exist in that plane. And as she grabs you, you're kind of in this gray, cloudy inner space between the planes. You can see kind of the shadowy movement of the creatures that were around you. You can, as you look out in the distance,
Starbucks over there.
There really is not a lot of distance. You can see it's kind of
Slow down. I'll shoot Hitler out the window.
You're within this kind of crackling gray cloud, as she seems to see a lot more than you can. If you were to look at her, she seems like she can really peer and see where she's going, and you kind of travel a little bit, and she's like holding on to you, and you can feel yourself moving at great speed, but it doesn't really look like you're moving as this gray cloud kind of circles you. The colors of, kind of like in the movies when you see like this kind of teleporting stuff, like the colors of the things you look at, like Torque and Justine, are kind of, soft and blurry on the edges as they swirl around.
Aberrating.
Yes. And as you're in there for like maybe half a second, she says, "Where are we going?" And Torque says, "Put us back on the ice. I'll toss you over." She says, "Okay." And you blink back into existence on the ice.
Is there a cat near me?
Immediately. Yes. There's a cat near both of you.
Ready to action?
I just want to fly out of this thing chopping.
So as you hit the ice, you both land on the ice. Not super sure-footed, but you do land standing. Torque says to Justine, "Stay behind me," and he puts a hand behind her, or in front of her, to get behind him. And it's now your turn to swing at a kitty.
Darn. That's a 15.
That'll hit.
Sweet.
The one in front of you would be the one that's been untouched so far.
Okay.
Calculating.
I hate how many dice I have to roll. Dice. 24.
Dang.
Interesting. No, never mind. Sorry.
It's still good.
So 24 damage. You cut deeply into the front left shoulder of the
And I
Blinx
kick
that
it
stands
too.
before you as it bares its hundreds of teeth directly at you. It is now Torque's turn, who's going to bring his axe again, hopefully down on top of Blinx number 4. Finally! Torque gets a hit with his great axe. He's going to roll a big bad D12. Well, it would have been a big bad D12 if he would have rolled well. For a hefty 5 damage, he just slides down the side of this beast's arm.
I forget that axes use 12s.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever hit anything with a readied action.
Really?
Yep.
He folds the skin off the side of this Blinx as it, recoils and shrieks.
Done shaved it.
And you can hear Justine kind of shriek as well, like, ah! She doesn't like the way that looks. She's not used to being this close to things. He says again, just stay behind me, you're safe, you're okay. And now it is the two Blinxies' turns, which are both going to try to jab at each of you respectively with their poison tails. Great. So their tails are coming in hot. One of them is going to roll a 23 to hit. That's going to be trying to hit you, Brice, or Jack. The other one is going to roll 24 to hit to Torque. So
he got me.
You take a poison tail in your gut, and that is 13 damage again.
Always 13.
And
Lucky.
Torque is also going to take 13 damage.
So does the healing squirrel act at the same time as this?
If you enter its space or you start your turn there, within 5 feet of it. So if you get within 5 feet of it...
Am I within 5 feet of it? Yeah.
Yeah, y'all are like right in the middle of this ice thing.
Yeah.
So you want to roll that and I subtract it from the damage, or how would we do that?
If you enter its space... Yeah, you just entered the space.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
5.
I'm going to also use my reaction to have incoming damage.
Okay.
So that's 7 minus 5 is 2.
So instead of taking the... So Torque just takes like almost right in the belly button. He takes a spiked tail directly into something and he goes, oh! At that, Justine reacts with, oh no! Sorry. Oh no! And then you are gonna you were gonna take one in the belly, but
Justine says.
You turn to the left as the tail like just scratches across your stomach, which will give you advantage on this DC. I'm not going to tell you Constitution saving throw. Sorry.
I thought you meant you weren't gonna tell me the
DC
what I'm gonna be saving on. That's a. What if it's not on here? Oh, it's 0. That's why. So it's 7.
What, for the save?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you are even though you're able to dodge the move, you and Torque are both poisoned. You both immediately turn pale with this poison that it's not slowing you down or anything, but it hurts just extremely bad. And Torque says, "Oh, I think it got me." Also, who all gets the healing from the squirrel?
Anybody within 5 feet that
Cool.
starts their turn or enters that space.
Roll some healing for your new friend Torque.
What about the cats?
1.
Thank you.
Hey, it's still 1 health. He doesn't.
As he's been doubled over, he says, "Arlo, that squirrel of yours isn't exactly effective." Justine says, "Torque, are you going to be okay?" "Yeah, I think so."
I think it works better when there's not a barbed tail in your stomach.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I hope Tor gets to 0 HP or stays close.
You have
This
to
is
put
gonna
the squirrel
This is
in the
gonna be so
wound.
much fun.
Okay, so that is going to be their turn. There is no more. These are the only 2 on the ice, so it's now Grimm's turn.
Hey, boy.
D&D on ice.
Hammer time again.
We are playing D&D on ice.
Yep.
So you got to move your hammer kind of through the crowd and towards the
You don't
creatures.
do. Got 1.
Dang, man. That poor hammer is having a rough evening.
27.
That'll hit for the punch. Who you punching?
The same one.
Okay,
26.
nice.
So
Both
the
of-
hammer
both
just
of
don't
them
do
hit.
The
it.
hammer just don't do.
The hammer
But
distracts
fist
them for the
punch,
punches.
That's what it
seems like.
is.
We'll say canonically, the hammer, they're dodging the hammer, and it's wherever they dodge from the hammer, Grimm is there to 1-2 them.
Okay. 24.
The damage,
Yeah.
that one is also dead.
Cool. Man.
You give him another 1-2 to the head, and another Blinx goes down with his turn. But as you do that, another Blinx leaps up out of the water behind you again.
Boom, boom.
I whip it round to gaze upon him.
This one even slightly smaller than the others. It seems as though the ones coming to attack you are decreasing in size.
Weak. That's what I say.
And it's going to be that one's turn, actually. It's going to hop up and go for you, Grimm. It's going to try to bite you.
Do it.
Oop. Will a 12 hit?
That meets.
Okay, so
So
you're
no.
safe. It bites into your your armor, and it doesn't do you any damage. It doesn't bite you quite hard enough.
I
You're able
like-
to pull out of it,
I pull it closer and I kind of growl at it a little.
and you hear it. You hear in the back of its throat that. It is now Arlo's turn.
Okay.
Oh wait, I started my turn.
Squirrel.
Give him the squirrel.
Medical squirrel. I love the squirrel. 3.
We grunt every time it's our turns. It sounds like there's like somebody under the table going around like stepping on our foot as it comes to our
It's
turn.
you. You.
That's the
got
only
it.
way we know.
That's Wiley. He kicks us in our shins when it's our turn.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to swoosh past where Jack
Increases
is.
immersion.
There are now 4 Blinxes down. No, there are 3 Blinxes dead on there. 2 are alive.
What does poisoning do?
It's not that same poisoning. It gives them disadvantage on attack rolls,
Okay.
and I think maybe saving throws. But I don't know because you said it's not.
Yeah,
the
this
same
isn't
type.
any
Yeah.
kind of. This is just hurdy poison. It's just to cause pain
It's
to
the
their
hurdy
enemies.
kind.
Just hurdy poisons. Okay. So.
But do you have a poison attack as an eagle?
No.
Okay.
No, I could get rid of them poisons.
Okay, that's
Right.
possible.
That is possible?
Yeah, it's poison, but it's just not the same kind of poison that.
That's what I was wondering. Like, does it affect, like, his rolls in any way?
No. You don't know that, but no.
Okay.
There are creatures that in the monster manual that just do like a poison for 3 turns or something.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So that makes better sense. All right, so I'm going to swoosh past. I'm going to go for the little one that just climbed up.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do the old attack.
Don't rip my arm off.
You're not the little one. Oh, yeah, you got
But
right up
he's-
in his
yeah,
face.
he's-
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going
He's
for...
currently not attached to your arm. He's close though.
All right. So 8 plus 5, so 13.
That will not hit.
What about the other one? 14 plus 5.
That will hit.
Not 10. Okay, so 2d6 plus 3, so I miss him with the bite. But I rake him with the talons. That's 4 and 2, so 6 plus 3 is 9 damage.
Okay.
And
To
I'll
the little boy?
swoosh on up out of there.
Okay. Again, the same thing. He's going to reach up and try to bite a hunk out of you this time. This one's small, so it can jump pretty high.
Bring it.
It's not so heavy. Will a 16 hit you?
You.
All right. It's going to bite. Ooh, it's going to bite fairly deep, Josh.
Do it.
It's going to bite you for 12 damage.
Do it.
And because you don't have any clothing on, it's going to sink those teeth in and bite directly into your ankle. And then
Favorite ankle.
the sound of the air clapping back together, and the giant eagle has just disappeared from above you with a cat attached to its leg. You again appear in a world that is very warm. Below you is green sea as far as your eye can take in. There's no land to be found. If you look deeply with your eagle eye, you can see more of these Blinx creatures actually circling the waters underneath
That's
this
creepy.
area. As well, you can see kind of some other strange wildlife that you can't really identify down there as well. It looks
still
particularly
flying
fishy.
around.
But yeah, you're flying around, and that Blinx that was on your ankle bloop, goes away, and it's back with our party here.
Does this count as movement?
Huh?
Does this count as movement?
No, it doesn't count as movement for them.
What's happening with my medical squirrel? I have to know.
You're out of range of it.
What's the concentration? It just lasts. So.
Um,
Well, yeah, it would be a range, wouldn't it?
Mm.
It can't go 60 feet beyond you.
Yeah.
And also, I'm going to say that
He's only in another
breaking a dimensional wall, traveling through dimensions might break your concentration, being the first time you did it.
Squirrel is out.
So I'll impose a breaking of concentration. Everybody can agree that would be at least surprising enough to possibly break that concentration. And the fact that distance-wise you are far more than 60 feet away from it at this point.
Cool.
So
the
this-
squirrel glows momentarily and just blows away on the breeze.
Nice. Yeah, and anytime Arlo conjures anything, it blows away as a stack of leaves when it's done, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Right, you came up with that. I like that.
Yes.
What? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that Blinx on a reaction has taken you to a different plane. It is now Jack's turn.
Cool.
Also, Jack,
I'm actually flying over
you're going
Disney
to take
World.
some damage
Why?
because
Oh,
you're
yeah.
poisoned. You're going to take 7 damage
There
from
is
poison.
no squirrel to protect me.
Your lack of squirrel.
The long but shallow wound on your belly throbs in pain.
Ah, my belly, says Jack.
But it is your turn now.
Okay. Okay. Is the cat that I hexed still alive?
No, I killed it.
No, it's dead.
Okay, well then I'm gonna use my bonus action to move that hex onto the next kitty I see.
Okay, there's one right in front of you
I'm gonna move it there.
that you just gave a hefty chop.
Yeah. I'm gonna move it to the other one then.
That one's dead.
That one's dead? There's only
Yeah,
one left?
Grim just turned around and shot it. Or
Alright.
no, the other one, the one behind you that just
There's one
attacked.
that's fairly well alive, right?
Yeah, that's the one that attacked
Okay.
Arlo.
I'm
So
gonna
you
move.
turn around and hex that one.
Yeah. And put the dex deficiency on him.
Okay, cool.
So now, I'm going to use a first level wizard spell called Catapult.
All right.
Choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within range that isn't being worn or carried. The object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in the direction you choose. When it strikes a solid surface, the creature, if I'm aiming it at a creature, it makes a dex save. On a failed save, the object and the creature take 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I'm going to toss one of my daggers into the air, and I'm going to use Catapult on it.
That's cool enough. Yeah, you can do that. That's cool.
Okay, the
That
cat
is
just has to
awesome.
make a dex save.
All right.
But that's dexterity checks. He doesn't have disadvantage on dex saves.
Are those not the same thing?
They are not. An
Okay.
ability check is different from a
Gotcha.
save.
So, like, if he was trying to, catch something or whatever, he'd.
Yeah.
Either way, very
Yeah.
cool. Solid use of stuff.
He must beat a 14.
He does not.
Hey, thank God.
He fails. So,
He takes 3d8 plus 1d6.
Yeah.
oh boy,
Wait, what's the d6 for?
Hex.
Oh, yeah.
roll that damage.
Get him. Get him. That's the one
Just
Would you call that a sneak attack? It is a melee weapon.
I would probably not.
I
would
think
say
you've got
that.
enough damage coming. I think.
Come
I don't think it's
on.
going to be. I mean, it is rather sneaky. But... oh no!
So for everybody at home, Brice just rolled a dice that rolled out of the tray and popped back into its own little spot
Okay.
on the dice tray.
Yeah, I dropped it and it hopped over the wall into the dice slot.
Nice.
So
Could not have done
4,
that again.
4, 5, that's 13 plus a d6. Ooh, 6. So 18. 19, yeah.
This
Don't sell
Blinx
yourself
is
short.
not looking good. It is. You hit it, and the hilt of the blade as it spins toward it collides right with its ribs, and you can hear the crunch of its feline bones as it crumples and hits the ground. It goes.
But I'm picturing it like the, like the javelin grenade things. Like the ones that like it goes thump, and it launches out and then the rockets kick in. And it's
Yes. That's how I kind of pictured it. It is now going to be Torque's turn, who's going to turn to Justine and say, Justine, you know what to do. Do you think you can do it again? I think so. I'm getting really tired. So as he says that to her, she blinks out of existence. And then
Falling from the sky.
half a second later, in Arlo's world, he feels a weight on his back, and it is the weight of a little girl.
That's a cool visual.
Who's grabbed onto your neck, and she says, "It's just me. I'm gonna bring you back, okay? It might hurt a little bit."
Power dive.
And then as soon as
Arlo
she's
replies, "Caw-caw."
Yeah.
as soon as she says that, you blink into that gray swirling cloud of kind of thunder and crackling lightning kind of stuff as you pass very briefly to this almost space between planes. And again, if you were to look at Justine, she seems confident about where she's looking and where you're traveling. It seems like you're traveling, yet it also seems like you're not moving. And then half a second, you're back into the night sky. The heat has been replaced with cold, and you're still above the battlefield. And Justine says, I'm going to hold on up here if that's okay. Okay, she takes that as a yes and holds tightly around your neck.
Strangling.
You flip over upside down, informing her that it was not a positive, but a negative.
Torque is now going to say, God, I hope she's all right. And
She's fine.
he grabs his axe and tries to bring it down again on that same Blinx right in front of him. He's going to hit that same Blinx right in front of him. He is going to deal a tasty 12 damage.
Is that the hexed one?
No.
Okay. So there's 3 up here with us.
So both of these Blinxes look extremely
Poopy.
poopy bad. They look real bad.
There's 3 of them up here with us?
There's 2 of them up there with you. There's 3 dead ones and 2 alive ones right now.
Okay. The one I hexed is alive.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
just
the one in
barely
front
though.
of
It's
me.
the one that you
The
hit
one
the
right in
ribs.
front of me is alive.
Yes, you're kind of back to back with Torque now.
And then there's one in front of Torque?
Yes.
Yes, there's 2.
On opposite
One in
ends
front
the
of you
ice.
that is hexed, and one behind you that is also in front of Torque.
I said I didn't want to hex the one that was right in front of me. Keith said there was another one. I hexed that one.
You turned. Yeah. So when you came back, you and Torque were facing.
So the one Torque just hit is the hexed one.
Incorrect. When you came back, you were facing a dead one and a live one.
Okay.
The one that you wanted to hex was the one that was healthier. It was behind you, on the opposite side of the ice from the one living Blinx you were looking at. You turned around and hexed that one and sent a knife at it.
Okay.
The one that's still on the other side is the one Torque is still looking at.
Okay.
And Grim is kind of beside y'all, I believe, still looking towards the one Torque is looking at.
No, the one that's hexed.
Oh yes, correct.
Because that's the one that bit me.
Right.
All right.
So,
That's why I was confused.
yep. Sorry. Opposite sides. So you and Grim are looking at one that's really hurt. Torque is looking at one that's also really hurt now, after he chops it again.
That's the one that I dealt damage to as soon as I came in, right? That's the one I dealt 24 to, because then I turned around and hexed the other one.
I think the one you dealt 24 to is maybe now dead.
Yeah, that one's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Because that happened before I killed the other one and before I was bitten by this one that's in front of me now.
I may have made an issue with targeting. I don't know. We can check the tapes. But suffice it to say,
Yeah.
it is accurate that one of them's dead, there are 2 alive, and that's where they are.
I was just confused. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, so it is now after his turn. It is Blinx number 4, who is just barely alive. Torque should have taken some damage on his turn, and he is about to. He takes 5 damage. He says, "Oh, this poison's getting into me." As Blinx number 4 is going to try to run at him and claw him down his chest real quick.
Torque's a pretty hardy fella.
He is hardy.
He's
Sturdy.
taking a lot of them gut stabs.
He is going to take another hit
Lord.
with some slashing damage down his chest.
You should learn to dodge.
Oh boy.
And he takes another hit. And he shouts at this point, "Just hit someone else, please!" to this cat. And now it is Grim's turn.
Meow.
Before you, Grim stands or lays a all but shattered Blinx.
So it's prone.
You sure? It's prone.
Hammer time.
It's hammer time.
What's that hammer do?
This is going to be an extremely long episode, by the way.
21
everybody.
to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
That's a nice treat for the listeners, though.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
good.
hope so.
4 damage.
That's enough. That kills it.
Headshot.
Yep.
Spinning vertical straight to the head.
You hit the head. It's enough to crack a skull, but not enough to crush it. There's now 4 dead Blinxes on this patch of ice.
I turn around
Blinx, he was aiming for Torque.
and I punch at the other one.
Can I take a free action when it's not my turn?
22.
To do what?
Pick up the knife that's in the cat. That's in the cavern in the cat.
Yeah, that's fine.
Catford.
22 and 14.
Those will both hit.
Excellent.
You only need 1 though.
Excellent. 14 and 29 total.
You go to punch a second time, but the first punch is enough to knock it right out. You're already traveling with that second one as it hits the ground.
I wanted to. Well, the hammer killed the first one. I had this cool visual in my mind where I was gonna smack this one with the hammer, punch the other one, and then turn around and punch the.
Yeah, they're.
But that didn't happen.
So now at this
That would be
point,
cool,
all the
though.
Blinxes are dead.
I kind of
On the
as I go to punch this one though, I do kind of like yell,
On
war,
the surface.
war cry.
Yes. That's all of them, I think. Torque says as he grabs his belly.
We need another.
And just as you say that, another Blinx, about a comparable size to those first or the second batch that came springing up, leaps up onto the ice before you as well, and it roars at you. But also, you can tell it looks a little bit apprehensive that it's just hopped up on here with all these big bad homeboys.
Welcome.
Arlo, it is your turn.
Had to climb over all the bodies to get up there.
Yeah. Yep, there are 5 Blinx bodies on this patch of ice.
All right, so there's not but 1 remaining.
Not but 1.
Not but 1. All right, I'm gonna swoop down low and redeploy the medical squirrel.
Okay. As you do that, I'm gonna roll a strength for Justine to see if she can hold on. And she is not very strong.
She dies. She
I'm being cautious.
Why would you do that?
Well, it's reasonable. She's on a giant eagle.
I'm being cautious.
I'll
I'm
give you
just,
advantage. I'll give you advantage if you're being cautious.
I'm
in
just
general.
getting within range.
Okay. So yeah, she's able to hold on.
Nice. Okay. Well,
I'm glad you said you were cautious though, because
Glad we
if
cleared
you
that
weren't,
up.
she was gonna fall.
plummet to your doom.
You're not that high.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna pass down low and drop down a spirit squirrel of healing, and
All right.
it's gonna land right on top of Torque's head.
Okay. Give us some.
That'll work. That's a 6.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much.
Should have made it something like really horrible, like a spider or snake or something.
On a scale
I could throw
of
my spider or something.
healthy to nigh death, where does Torque land?
Fairly healthy. Yeah, he's not.
Dang it.
He's hurting, but he's not really hurting.
Focus all your offensive energies upon him.
I'm not gonna let you turn this girl's older brother into a zombie.
No, I can't. I don't know. I can't.
But he's got big bones.
I don't. That's not what I want to do.
Uh-oh.
All right. Anyway,
It's far worse.
it is.
It's funnier, at least.
It is Jack's turn. Unless no, you just did the squirrel.
Yep, and I didn't get close to anybody. I just got within 60 feet.
Okay, Jack's turn. A fully healthy Blinx stands before you.
Is Jack
I'm
within
gonna-
5 feet of Torque?
Yeah.
I
8.
take
You also take 6.
Well,
I feel like you
he
can
takes
only
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got to roll individually.
He started his turn within the area.
Gotcha.
He didn't move
this
into the
would
area.
be a different roll.
He started his turn in the area.
So I take 6 and 5.
I guess it's fine.
I'm only 2 health down, so
Yeah, you're good. Let's not squabble over getting that 2 health back.
The day God was like, yeah, whatever.
all right. So I'm gonna, as my bonus action, I damaged myself. I'll take care of it later. I'm gonna move my hex to the healthy cat,
Okay.
and I'm gonna just go for a regular chop with my
Okay.
booming blade.
Regular chop it.
Regular chop time. That's a 17.
That'll hit.
Nice.
Have you used the guidance yet?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
Very early. No,
kinda,
Keith gave
but
it
not
back
really.
to me.
Yeah, I gave it back to you
I
because it
forgot.
wasn't fair for us to try to take it.
It doesn't apply to this anyway.
Yeah.
8, 6. That's
14.
I'm at 18 now.
18.
Yeah, Keith.
No, he did the math right. I got 4 more.
I was just joking.
That's 18 plus 8 is 26.
Ooh.
Plus 4 is 30.
Nice. Wow. Okay, cool. That's quite a hearty chop.
That's some damage right there.
You sink
Hex
that
plus
blade.
sneak attack plus booming blade plus the knife itself.
Does it? He doesn't take booming blade till he moves, though, right?
Well, he takes it
booming
initially.
blade.
Yeah, okay.
After level 5, it
If he
increases.
moves, he takes
Gotcha.
another 2d8.
Okay, cool. All right, so that Blinx is not looking good. He's looking about a quarter as good as he used to.
Good lord.
Hint, hint.
And it is now Torque's turn,
Torquey.
who says...
Finish him off.
Yeah. Let's take care of this and go home. I'm tired.
Nat 1. He's
Bleeding.
Yeah, he misses.
Good lord.
As he raises his axe, a tremor of that pain, and it is his turn. So that pain... Also, Jack, you should take some damage. Jack, you took 4 damage,
Oh, yeah.
and Torque is taking 8 damage.
Don't
Nope.
forget to hit yourself full real quick.
It's Torque's turn. He takes 7 because he just got back 1 from medical squirrel.
Cool. Thank you.
A whole 1.
As he raises his arm, the pain of the poison courses through him, and he stumbles and buries that axe again in the ice. And as he does that, he says, "Okay, someone else finish it." So now it's Grim. It's your turn.
The cat's
How
not
many
gonna
damage
take
did I take?
The cat should have taken or
It's like 5.
came in after you, but he didn't do anything.
Alright.
So he's going to go after you if he survives this.
turn? Hammer time. Horizontal strike to the head.
Okay,
Come on, baby. Oh, that's 12.
not going to hit.
All right. I'm
Everybody has been serving up the kills for Zenas, though. Like, damage him and then tee him up for Zenas to. Of course, you tee him up for the guy who punches things to death.
I cast fists.
24
That'll hit.
and
See?
15.
Roll
Muscle
damage.
wizard.
Both hit.
Yeah.
Pexus, the muscle wizard.
27.
That'll kill it.
I want to punch to the snout and then left uppercut.
Okay, you punch it in the snout and you uppercut it to the left. You have to squat down a little bit to do it, but you are able
Oh,
to
well
do
then
it.
I'm going to just punch it in the snout with a left jab and then slam it downward on the right.
Okay, then you slam it down, and that Blinx is also
And
dead.
short.
And you can feel the thud on the ice, and you can hear some silence as you have a break between Blinxes coming up at you.
Let's get these teeth, gentlemen.
Absolutely. Mother asked for 6, and I don't want to get stabbed by another one. Let's get back to shore.
I'm just going to grab the neck of one and just melt the flesh away.
Okay.
Just take the whole head.
Torque goes and grabs the two big ones that you got the first had to kill, and he scoops one up in each arm, and he goes to toss them over to the bank. He calls up and says, "Arlo, could you grab a few of these?
Can I?
Don't let Justine fall off."
What's the carrying capacity for a large
You can pick
creature?
them up.
It's
I can pick them up?
Yep, I'm calling it.
Sweet. All right, so I'll grab 2 of them.
Torque is able to hurl these bodies onto the bank, and then he leaps over
Did you get 2 or
to the
1?
bank.
I was grabbing one, but I'm gonna move around and grab as many. I'll just 2, 3, whatever.
Okay.
How
So
many
you,
happily?
who do you
1.
grab, Arlo? Anybody?
I'll grab. Yeah, I guess I'll grab 2 of the bandits.
Okay.
Is Torque holding 2 of them?
Yeah, he grabbed 2 under his arms and he kind of set them down to toss them over the edge towards the bank.
Aren't those the ones that?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab those 2.
Yeah.
Off the bank?
What that's what I was confused. I think Keith's intention was for you to grab some from the thing.
Oh, it doesn't
And I
matter.
was thinking the same thing you were.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip off another head.
As you do
This
that,
is
Arlo,
not a normal conversation.
as you do that, Arlo, Torque notices the size of your talons and he says, "Arlo, actually, you could probably carry all of these. I don't know, or we could just remove the heads. That might be easier too. I think we'll just remove the heads. So drop them here on the bank."
If the eagle could sigh. Can I drop them right on top of where Torque is?
On top of him?
Sure, why not?
Crush him!
I'm like 10 feet away. So.
There's a squirrel there.
So
I'm gonna cut the head
do you
off.
wanna
2
drop
of
them on
I'm
him?
gonna carry
Just
2.
like close by.
Oh yeah, you did.
Grim,
You
do you think you could make an ice bridge to the earth?
Certainly. And I whip out my staff and do it.
You touch the water,
Touch the water.
and so you move the circle to where it creates a no gap between you and the land,
Yeah.
and you guys cart all those carcasses off to the bank. And Torque takes out a little hunting knife that he has, and he begins removing the heads of these creatures.
Okay. Cool.
And as he removes the heads, he says, "When we're done removing the heads, just toss the bodies back in the water. They don't seem to mind eating a few of their own,
Here.
and we don't eat them." And he slides the bodies back in the water.
I want to grab one by the lower legs and just sort of fling it in there. Do I need to roll for that?
No. We'll just say you do fling one and it lands in the water.
Cool.
Bloosh.
Right in the water.
All right, let's remove the heads and get these back. The sun will be up by the time we pass through town.
Excellent.
Let's go.
I'm
He's-
already halfway there.
He also says, "Have you really left?"
Right, there's not a whole lot for me to do left, so
That's true.
I'm just circling around overhead.
Okay, as you're up there, he says,
Even pony
"Arlo,
rides.
would you mind dropping Justine back down here?
Squawk!
And you're
turn
welcome.
over.
And you're welcome to join us back for the hike back to the mine if you'd like,
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
but you don't have to."
I kind of gotta take a dump of information. If you want to walk with us.
So I'll come and I'll land so she can get off. So.
Okay. When she hops off, he says, "Justine, you did really good. How do you feel?" "I'm really tired. I've never traveled that far and that much before. I ache a little bit." "All right, it'll be okay. We'll get you home and we'll get you tucked in for a good sleep today." And he picks her up and grabs her to carry her like a small child. You would carry a
This
small child.
5-year-old is going to have nightmares after this.
Yeah, she's fine. She's not human.
Oh, there you go.
And then when he grabs her, he looks around. He opens his satchel and looks down into the bag full of heads of teeth that he has in his pocket. And he says,
Yep, nightmares.
"Fellows, this hunt has put a smile on my face."
That's. Yes? Okay.
And that's where the episode ends with that poor attempt at a pun with teeth. Thank you so much for listening to this extra long episode of Dungeon Boys. We are trying to get ourselves to that season finale. Hopefully we'll do that in this recording session. And we'll tell you kind of what goes on after our season 1 finale as well when we get there. So thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or whatever, send us a review or share our show with your friends. Contact me and I can relay your contacts to the others at Take Media Games on Twitter. And we will see you in the next episode. Please remember that we love you very much.
Bye.
We had fun. Toodles.
Later.